Hi guys, in this video I'll teach you how to make an oval crochet piece but without these tiny holes that are created in the first round when we are making the chains. Okay, so there is another tutorial here in the channel where I specifically teach you how to make an oval shape. So in case you don't know how to do this, please watch this other video first. It's very fast, it's a very fast and simple tutorial. But in this other video, I teach you how to make the oval shape. The aim of this one is to teach you how to avoid these tiny holes that are created in the crochet piece. But first, I want to explain something because you might be asking yourself, why in the other video you didn't teach this way? This is a little bit more complicated. So that's why in the other video I teach like a very beginner-friendly way to make a crochet piece like that. And after you master the other technique, which is very simple, then you can go to this one. Okay? And based on my own experience, in the beginning it was very difficult for me to use this technique. I could only start doing it when I became an advanced crocheter. So if you master the simple technique on how to create an oval crochet piece, now you can follow this tutorial. Okay, so let's start doing it. And all I have here is a ball of yarn, a crochet hook, which I guess you know it's my favorite one, the 2.2 from Tulip. And I have some stitch markers. I don't live without stitch markers. I guess you also know that. So we start with the simple slip knot. And I want this sample to be exactly the same size as the other one so we can compare. So I made 8 chains and that's what we will do right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chains. We start working from the second chain in the hook, and here is the big secret of this technique to avoid the holes. In the other video, I taught you that you should insert the crochet hook here, okay, in these loops. When we analyze the chains, let me show you, we have this V shape, we have the first loop that is in this side here. I want to show it to you better. We have this loop. And we also have this other loop when we work in the other side, right? But to avoid the holes, we have to insert the crochet hook like this. We insert in this first, but also we take this other loop here like this, okay? So you have to grab 2 loops in order to work in this first side of the chains. Okay, so let me do it with you. I insert the crochet hook and I grab 2 loops. You see that my crochet hook is under this loop and this other one here. So I make 1 single crochet. It's way more tight than the other one, so that's why I consider it a bit more advanced, okay? So again, instead of grabbing 1 loop like this, and you yarn under or yarn over, whichever you prefer, okay? So this is what you have to do in this side of the chains. Instead of grabbing 1 loop like this, you insert here, taking 2 loops, okay? And you do this until the penultimate chain. That's what I will do here. You see that I'm always taking 2 loops and not only 1. Again, 1 loop, 2 loops. 2 loops again. So remember that in the last chain we have to make more stitches in order to make the curve. Again, you have to do the same here. I mean, if you're making 3 single crochets in the last chain, then you have to work all these single crochets using both loops, like I did here. And that's why I said that it's so important to watch the other tutorial first, because otherwise you'll be kind of lost in this explanation. Okay, so we crocheted one side. We can see it here. We crocheted one side using both loops. We crocheted all the stitches here to make the curve. And now we will continue crocheting the other side of this foundation chains. And although we grabbed 2 loops in this first part, you can see here that there's still a loop left for us to work in the other side. Okay, it's way tighter than this first technique here, but there is still room to work. You see that it's pretty tight. Sometimes it's a bit hard to insert my crochet hook. I'm sorry, I moved my camera. But we will continue working in these other loops, okay? So, again, you just insert the crochet hook in these loops. Oops. And make your single crochet, and doesn't matter if you prefer to yarn under or yarn over, it's completely up to you. This technique will work with both ways, okay? Okay guys, so I finished the first round. I must say that this was the first round of this sample that I'm creating. It's not from any pattern. I'm just creating a random sample here, but you can already see that there are no holes. Let me try to focus. There are no holes here between these sides. We cannot see the chains, while in this one we saw these tiny holes. I will keep crocheting this sample here just because I want to show you, like, when they are side by side, how they look in the end. So I finished the oval crochet piece, and you can see how closed my stitches are. Here in the first round, we cannot see any holes. Like, I see a tiny one here in the curve. But let's compare with this one. You see that the samples are the same size, almost the same, because, I mean, it changes a little bit because of our crochet tension, but I use the same yarn and the same crochet hook, and they are like the same size. And you see the difference between these two samples. And that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed creating this crochet oval piece without holes, like the green sample that I have here. Remember to subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up in this video so you won't miss any new tutorial and tips that I have to bring here for you.